Invest Insights. I'm Abby Maloney. I'm joined today by Keith Costello, the president and CEO of Locality Bank. Keith, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you very much, Abby, for inviting me.
Well, let's dive in. Community banks have been integral in economic preservation and recovery over the past 24 months. In your unique position as a community bank with a robust digital presence, where do you feel you have a creative advantage addressing customers' specific needs, and how has that creativity made a difference in the past year?
So when we started to formulate this idea, which was really just, about a year and a half ago, to start a new community bank, we decided that in order to really be effective and to serve the needs of local businesses, and I just want to say, I like using the term local business instead of small business because I think small is relative and some businesses say, oh, I'm not small, So I like local because those are most of the companies that we end up working with. Our companies are headquartered here in either Broward, Miami-Dade, or Palm Beach counties, basically South Florida. So as we were thinking about this, and I'm a career banker. I've done this for over 30 years, but I also have some younger partners who join me with this, particularly our technology partner. And what really attracted him to what we're doing was the ability to create something new and different. And so he left actually a bank that was well established to jump in and be able to do something that we all embrace, which is to do something first principles and to think about, okay, what does that client really need? What does that local business need to be able to thrive, grow, be able to make payments, be able to take care of their customers? And how can we better provide those services? And so we try to just erase everything that we knew about banking and just start from scratch and say, okay, how will we build this thing so that it'll be effective really in serving the needs of those local companies that we want to take care of?
Keith, as a Florida native dedicated to the preservation of the community banking industry, how does knowing your neighbors inspire innovative solutions in the banking industry?
So again, I think it goes back to local, which is locality, which is really what our entire bank is built on, which is local relationships. And having lived in South Florida for a long time, my co-founder, Drew Sato, was born here. Um, a lot of our employees have lived here a long time. So it's our board members as well. So it's really about knowing the local community, being able to, again, uh, understand their needs better, perhaps, than a larger institution that's not headquartered here, or a larger institution that may be headquartered here but can't make changes as rapidly as we can.
Locality Bank has been recognized for its prioritization of small businesses, or should I say local businesses. How might your services to small businesses in particular differentiate from those to larger corporations?
That's a great question, and so if you remember during one of the things that really motivated us to do this, to engage in starting a bank, was the inability of local businesses to get funding during the PPP program,
Hmm.
and that was really due to the fact that a lot of the local banks had been acquired, and now a lot of the customers that we had as customers in the past at our other banks were calling us and saying, oh, we can't get anybody to even return a phone call right now. And so that was a real wake up call to us about how, really those local relationships are just so important. And most of the clients that we have, as opposed to the larger companies usually have a CFO who deals with the banks. And a larger company really has a lot of resources that they can go to. They have a lot of times they have public markets, they have private equity, they have all these different sources of funding, and they have banks that are bending over backwards to lend the money. Really, the smaller, and I'll go back to my term local. So a lot of the local companies don't have a CFO, the owner of the business or the CEO, he's wearing so many hats, and he's usually the one who is dealing with the bank. And so we're able to establish a relationship. I am, as a CEO of a bank, able to deal with the CEO of a local company, and we're actually really a local business too. So it makes a difference, I think, in that regard, that we're dealing kind of at a level of the leaders of two different organizations on the level that we're dealing with a lot of our clients.
Let's broaden the discussion a little. With a global market that's already worth more than $3 trillion, the potential for cryptocurrency and blockchain technology seems to just be ramping up. How do you see these technologies changing the community banking landscape for the long term? And how is your bank preparing for these changes?
So I see that really like the blockchain as the internet was in 1990. And now look at how much a part of our everyday lives the internet is. So it's probably many years off, but it's definitely where everything is going. Because if you look at and a lot of people can dismiss cryptocurrencies and some of these other things, or NFTs, as fads. But the reality is that the blockchain technology is so powerful to enable financial transactions and enable legal transactions, enable people to vote, enable for a title to be held. There's so many different applications that it's just a matter of time until this technology is really being utilized throughout the financial systems. What it means for community banks is you need to be aware of what's going on. You need to be participating and knowledgeable about what's going on. I don't, as a new bank, we're a little bit restricted about what things we can and cannot do. So we're not going to be leaders in cryptocurrency or in blockchain technology. But we do have a relationship. One of our investors is very heavily involved in blockchain technology, very knowledgeable on that. And we are keeping ourselves aware of it so that we can make sure that we are not, maybe not the leaders, but also that we're not lagging behind for this important technology.
And as a new player in the market, what role does creativity play in remaining competitive in today's landscape?
Well, I think without creativity, we wouldn't even do this. If we can do something that we feel is significant and different, we wouldn't just open another bank because, let's face it, there's enough banks. There are plenty of banks, and nobody's saying, we wish we had a new bank. But what people do say is, I don't like this about my bank, or I don't like this about this service, or I can't get the attention I need, or I can't get the money I need. So when we hear those things, we're like, okay, those are problems we can solve. And as I said, the biggest problem we heard was during PPP, where people were saying, we can't get the attention of the larger institutions. So that was really a chance for us to use our creativity and create what we did.
Thank you very much, Keith. I appreciate our discussion today.
Thanks, Abby.
That was Keith Costello, the President and CEO of Locality Bank. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to hear more CEOs and thought leaders share their opinions and advice on today's business climate. Until next time, I'm Abby Malone, and this has been Invest Insights. Thanks for tuning in.